Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. This time around I'm playing on the Death Knight and I'm level 60. My friend is, as you can see, not far from 60, so he's level 63, and we are apparently doing Hellfire Ramparts. How this is going to work out, I'm not quite sure. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do not forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. And also I want to thank everybody for their support with this series, especially seeing as it's doing fairly decent here on the channel. So a little background story here as to what is going on, why there's just two of us here in this particular dungeon. So my friend here, he's told me he believes that both of us, we can basically just run this dungeon by ourselves, including bosses and everything. I don't know if this is necessarily true or what the score is, but apparently he says he's gone through the dungeon and pretty much was able to solo, generally speaking, the trash in the dungeon. Now, of course, he was talking about Blood Furnace. We are in Hellfire Ramparts, so it is slightly different in terms of what we face, but yeah, he's basically convinced me to give this a go. How this is going to work out, I don't know. So he's a tank, he's a paladin tank, and I am a blood death knight. Now the intention here with my character is to basically tank on the blood spec, so it should be a case of I become a self-healing tank. Basically, that's kind of what I'm going for. But as you can see right here, we are really not struggling at all. I mean, we get kind of close, and I think going forward, learning from this pull here, I think we need to start focusing on the casters. They do a lot of damage. So far for the melee trash in this dungeon, they don't really hurt us that bad. It's actually the casters as far as I can tell, I'm guessing. But yeah, we've cleared out 2 waves of trash all by ourselves. I don't know. I mean, this is meant to be a 5-man dungeon, a 5-man run. And I think going forward, we're going to need to focus down the casters because they hurt really badly. So I don't know how quick this will be. I don't know how many deaths there'll be here, or if we even get to do it. But so far, it does look like it could be possible, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see exactly what's going on here. I have, as I said, spec'd my Death Knight, and I have gone down the blood tree, which then, of course, means technically, according to Classic, I should be DPS, but I'm going to build a blood Death Knight tank. And what's nice about it is that, as you can see right here, just from these, we don't take much damage, or the damage we take, we heal back up, which is kind of cool, to be honest. So we're going to have to be careful here with the pulls. It's a group of casters here, which kind of stresses me. But yeah. So as you can see, he's being hit by the casters. Now the problem with the casters is they do that, what ability, you know, that rain of fire ability. That actually hurts, believe it or not. And also, they also dot up. So I have no cure for the dots. Okay, my friend's suffering a bit here. Oh, he's died. Right, yo. I'm hurting too. Right, okay. It's fine. It's a learning curve there. I should have, yeah, okay. It's fine. I guess I did, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see this. I guess it's a bit of a walk of shame here. I'm trying to figure this out as well, because apparently he claims we can do it, so I don't know. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't know what the score is. But I think he might potentially be right. Now that does also mean that we'll have to be very careful with pull and stuff, and it could potentially be fairly longish run. If that's the case, then that's whatever they did with this pre-patch, they kind of broke the game, in the sense of if a Death Knight and a Paladin can run this dungeon by themselves without the need of DPSers and healers and all that, then that's kind of crazy. So right now, basically at this moment in time, what we're doing is we're testing the waters. Or at least I am, speaking for myself. He seems to be confident, so you know I'm gonna trust him on this. But I'm trying to also find my way. I'm gonna be honest. I have not tanked, so I don't know what to expect, to be honest. So, I mean, the nice thing is I can always switch to Frost, which will increase my armor and stuff. But then, that means we'll be fighting for aggro. I could try it on Frost as well, but I'll stick to Blood for now. So I am in basically the Blood mode. I'm going to eat a little buff food here, so I have brought that with me. That does offer me a bit of a boost to my stamina. I could have probably had some potions with me as well. That might have helped as well. So we got Blessing of Kings. I've got the buff food. I don't know. It might be possible. I mean, it's looking a bit iffy. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, it's actually looking possible, but it's one of those scenarios where potentially we might need just another person to help DPS down pretty much everything. And from what I've seen already, we shouldn't really be able to actually clear the trash like we did so far. But yet, here we are. We've not really struggled that much. Yes, we've had a bit of a death there. And like I said, we're testing the waters. I'm getting used to playing the Death Knight. I'm not going to lie. There's certain things I need to learn about the class. I've not played a Death Knight in the dungeon. So, especially with an important role like this where you're supposed to hold aggro and act as a tank. So I am letting them be, I suppose, the main tank, in the sense of he's got better gear than me for that role. I still have the stuff that we've kind of obtained through basically story progression when it comes to the Death Knight arc, story arc. So we really don't have anything tank related, if that makes sense. So yeah, as you can see right there, I've taken all the aggro. That gives him a couple of seconds of breathing space. And then obviously he'll take aggro, and I can always swap and basically retrade aggro, basically. But what's nice is, as you can see right there, we are not really being hurt. I mean, one of these guys is already dead anyways. And yeah, look, this is nuts. This should not be possible. We should at least need 3 men for this, not 2. This is insanity. Okay, I'll wait for him to catch up. See, this is the, I suppose, challenge with being a paladin tank. It's mana. You rely on mana, whereas what's nice about the Death Knight and Warrior class as well, but Death Knight specifically, is you basically build up your bar that you use, your abilities, as you hit things. So you never have to slow down. Of course, you'll have to slow down for the purposes of healers and stuff and casters to regenerate mana, but you can actually keep going and going and going. But yeah, this is just, I don't know. I don't know how this pre-patch has affected the dungeons, if they reduce the amount of damage that the NPCs do, or the health, because I feel like even the health is not what it used to be, in the sense of it's not taking that much effort to take them down. This is now a stage where I'm concerned. As you can see, there's a couple of healers there. Healers, yeah, my bad. couple of casters there. And we've made, I'd say, good progress. He says, right there, he thinks we're going to die at this one because there's too many casters. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark down what to focus on, kind of set an order of what we're going to take down, and basically both of us focus on the same targets. So basically what I'm thinking is if we pull them back here, is what I'm telling them, or somewhere, do a line of sight pull, something like around here. I'm just worried about possibly aggroing a patrol or something. I think we can do it from what I'm seeing right now. So yeah, LOS means line of sight. Basically we're trying to break line of sight with them and get the casters to kind of move from their origin to where we want them, and hopefully have them far away enough where they don't re-aggro or aggro the patrol. I know there's a patrol there. I don't know how far it comes. Okay. Alright, I guess we go then. It's a bit of a risky one. Alright, so I'm trying to get the order here. As you can see, we're both focusing on the order. Oh, that fear. I'm being feared here. This is bad. So, if you see... Yep, I'm feared again. Really not doing much here. Nope, I'm trying to get this... Okay, never mind.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Right, okay, let's try and get the... Oh, I'm feared again, never mind. There's no point in trying. So he's self-healing, but I'm just basically being feared continuously right now. But he's done really well. I mean, he's pretty much held his own against these guys. I'm not going to lie. Granted, I was pretty much 80% of that whole thing just feared, which is nuts. Honestly, this group right here should not have been possible. I don't know. Yeah, so we're taking the Mickey out of each other. He was pretending that I called him stupid, and I know he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing, and I'm like, no, I never said that. I'm just basically worried about this dude right here. And he brings some friends with him, but that's fine. We should be good unless I muck this one up. No, I think we should be fine. We're taking him down. Yep. There we go. Yeah, look, I mean, things are going down really, really, really nicely. It's funny how he gets tossed up in the air, which is, I mean, this is what will happen. I'm not sure what happened with these dogs right now and how they ended up here. Like, that really doesn't make much sense. Trying to take as much down as possible. Like, that could have been the patrol that ended up pulling also the... Yeah, okay. Right, so he's saying that was the patrol. And to me, it didn't look like the patrol. That really didn't look like the patrol. Oh, I mean, we've taken down most of it, but still. Huh. That is really weird. So it must be a case where in his version of the game, it was the patrol. In my version, it looked like 3 NPCs. So that right there, folks, just to kind of let you all know, apparently it was the patrol that I pulled, but by pulling the patrol, I also pulled the other trash mob that was around there, which, even so, we did quite well. You know, that's used to be quite scary. And that was for a full group, by the way. Now, this looks entirely possible that we could just do this by ourselves. It would be slow. And so what I'm thinking is, we're going to be doing this, as far as I can see it. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the full run. What we could do with is another DPS to just help DPS things down. If we get a DPS, then this will be a walk in the park, honest to God. So I'm asking in the guild right now to see if anybody needs to do Ramparts. If we get someone, whether it's a healer or a DPSer, we should not have an issue. It does not matter really at this point in time what class they are, but one extra person will help DPS things down, and it should be just a cakewalk really. So we're waiting to see what happens here, if we're gonna get anybody to be interested in it. If they are, well, yeah, kudos to us. That just makes the run that much more easier. By the way, I'm not releasing Spirit because my friends basically told me not to do that, and so he's gonna come and res me. So what I was gonna say here, that's another thing I should mention, is that me and my friend here are actual friends in actual life, and we've known each other for quite some time. Now, when he told me about this, and he's been when he got on and he told me about this, I couldn't believe it. I was really skeptical. He said we could do it, and yeah, he's right. I'm my mind's blown right now. It's absolutely possible that we can do it. Might be a couple of deaths here and there, but still, 2 men in a dungeon designed for 5 people, getting this far should not be a thing. You know, it goes to show you how simple things become in further patches in the game. This should not be possible in my mind, at least. But it is, and yeah. See, this is how the challenge died, to be fairly honest, with, I think, Cataclysm. It just became ridiculous. We could run like dungeons without having a full group, which made no sense. You could even do, this is what you could do, stuff like this we used to do on Heroics, and I think we only went with 3 people in Heroics. And to me, that just made no sense. You didn't, you didn't need a healer. You didn't sometimes even need a tank. It depended on the heroic, but the fact that you went in Heroics, or we went in Heroics with only 3 people, I found that insane. Now, going from Classic to this right now, the fact that we don't need 5 people for this run, I am just 60. He's 64 now. That still blows my mind, because none of us are out of level range. This is well within our level range. We should be struggling. We should not be able to be dealing with the trash, yet here we are. Now, the moment of truth will come. I'm going to be honest here. In my opinion, the moment of truth will come when we do a boss, and we'll see how we handle the boss. Right, see, right there. That's the patrol he was on about. To me, I didn't see the patrol. Now it reset. So something must have happened. It must have bugged out the patrol, because, yeah, it wasn't a thing. Alright, so we found someone in the guild that could join the group. And really, that's all we need. We just need another person to DPS things down. I think this will run just fine now. We are taking less damage. The dogs are dead. Now we have just 2 elites, which aren't really what they used to be. As you can see, this is just crazy.
I can't cast that yet.
Yeah, there we go. Like, honestly, it's just nuts. Wow. Alright, I guess after this we'll summon in the guildmate, and then we'll just do the run properly. But yeah, this should not be possible at all. I'm trying to get the name of the person that wanted to join the group, but yeah, 3-manning this is nuts. Like, honest to God, how is this even a thing? Wow. Yeah, so this is. Well, I mean, I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Mine's completely blown right now. Coming from the Burning Crusade Classic and coming from Classic, basically, this was something that was not possible. Should not be possible. I mean, 2 men doing the dungeon at the appropriate level and just getting through the trash like this. This would have been a wipe. That you could not even dream this. And here we are right now in Outlands, which in the past this was not possible. So before the pre-patch, this was not possible. Now the pre-patch has dropped. We're actually two-manning this. This is kind of unbelievable. So we've got a third person. I know now that this is just going to be a smooth run. We don't have a healer. And yeah, basically 2 people short. This is just for conveniency, but also I'm thinking if we're doing this all the way, might as well help someone, you know, spread a bit of love around. And I'm sure there'll be people that need to do certain things or quests in this particular dungeon. But just the fact that this is possible still is surprising. And I've only been playing World of Warcraft or I've returned to World of Warcraft for what, about a month and a half now, month, something like that. And, you know, my mind, my muscle memory has sort of set itself for a specific type of challenge and difficulty. Doing this just feels super easy right now. I'm kind of liking it. I don't know if it's because of the class combination, because basically we have the Death Knight, which is kind of a paladin in a sense, but it's basically the dark paladin, and then we have the paladin, which is, you know, the power of light and all that jazz. But still, wow, very, very cool. If this is the case, then basically in the guild we're just gonna start doing 3-man runs. I mean, honestly, this is nuts. I'm going to be honest and say that my friend has the advantage with being a paladin because he can actually spam heals when he needs it. So realistically, you want a Death Knight and a paladin combination there, and it shouldn't really be that big of a problem. Alright, so we're waiting for the guildmate to accept the invite. He must be doing something because he's taking some damage. I don't know exactly what he's fighting or what we've interrupted him doing, to be honest. So we're just waiting it here. Hopefully he accepts the invite pretty soon. He has, so I guess it's go time. There's no point in mounting up from the summoning stone to here. You can just walk it. We got there faster than him. The time you spend on the mount or mounting up, might as well just run it. Don't we need more? No, trust me, my friend here was absolutely right. He's probably baffled as to what we're doing here. But yeah, he's going to be just as surprised as I am right now. Yeah, so I'm going to let, obviously, my friend here take most of the aggro just because of gear, mostly. So we can basically take the full force of the damage, and we can, I mean, we have different ways of healing, but we can self-heal. So I think we're going to start marking out stuff here, just because we don't want the casters staying up for too long. They need to go down really quickly. I mean, just look at this. It's crazy. 3 men doing a dungeon. I mean, this is trash, but I guess... Well, okay, here comes the fireballs. We need to stop them really quickly. Okay, so it's one of those casts that has a bit of a delay on the casters. That's good to know. Leather. Not very useful to me. Yeah, there we go. Again, this is another thing that we could have probably just done by ourselves, but just having that extra damage, however little, does actually make a big difference. When we don't have casters, it's a cakewalk. It's a walk in the park. Honest to God, we barely take damage. It's actually the casters that really hurt. As you can see right here, nobody's taking damage. Like, how is this even a challenge? Seriously, not even my friend's taking damage. He was basically doing all the aggro. Wow. Oh. I'm gonna be honest, the paladins and the death knights are crazy powerful. Okay. Guess we're waiting for my friend here. We've got this dude. Might as well say hello to him in a bit. Want to make sure he's far enough from... Yeah, okay, never mind. He's pulled some friends. That's fine. There we go. Did we say we need healers, by the way? Did I mention we don't need healers? Yeah, this is kind of crazy. Oh, we're getting close here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ooh, that was close. That was just basically all the meteorite. There we go. So really, it's not the melee class in the dungeon that's hurting us. It's actually the casters. This is just insane. But fun at the same time. It feels weird but pleasant, I suppose. I know this is gonna... I wonder how far this has gone in terms of the dungeons. You know, like difficulties and stuff. Like, are heroics what they used to be? Have they become easier now? If they've become easier, by how much have they become easier? Because, yeah, you know, it's fun to have a challenge. It's fun to do this, but it still feels wrong. Like, there we go. We've just pulled a whole group of NPCs here, and really nobody took any damage, really. I'm gonna enjoy this. So I screwed that one up. Got a little excited there. What we did here is we pulled the whole group, including the boss. I honestly didn't think it would pull the boss, so this ends up in the wipe here. So the issue here is not so much the boss and his ads, it's those two casters that you can see right there. Those are what's doing the real damage. Yep, so this is, I guess, what would you call this, a second wipe or a third wipe? Okay. Yeah. It's fine. That was my mistake. I kind of caused the entire group to wipe there. Not intentionally. I genuinely didn't think it would pull the boss. So obviously we need to let the boss kind of wander somewhat a bit further than what he did there, or what he was there. This is a learning curve for me because, well, like I said, I'm a returning player to the game. I know the mechanics, but this is a bit of like fine-tuning as a tank. You kind of only learn by making mistakes like this. Now I know that for future reference, I'll need to allow a bigger space between the boss and that group of NPCs. That's pretty much all it is. And I've played as a healer. I've done this run quite a few times as a healer, or enough times for me to know what to expect from it, but never as a tank. And as a tank, you're playing a different class, a different role, and it's stuff like this. This is what you need to know, and it's fun. It's can be a challenging class to play, but it can also be a fun class. Now, I wish I had a res, but I don't have a res on my Death Knight. And yeah, sadly my friend's going to have to do the walk of shame because of me. I mean, we kind of cleared out quite a decent amount. If I look at it now, we did quite well. Like, honestly, this is a good portion of the dungeon that's been cleared out. Wow. There are, what, 1, 2, I think there's 3 bosses in this one. And we are at the first boss. And it's a good thing I brought some buff food, so definitely will need to work on cooking on my Death Knight. So when my friend contacted me about doing this dungeon, which I was very skeptical about, and I didn't think it was possible, but clearly it is, I was basically just leveling up my mining, trying to get it to Outlands level, but also doing the blacksmithing, which is something I've settled to do on this character. But clearly we're going to need to do our cooking as well, and we want to get it to Outlands level, and as you can see, we do need the buff food. Yeah, so now my friend's explaining to our guildmate that we're actually friends in real life and we've known each other for quite some time. And so he doesn't understand that we're hating on each other. We're just taking the piss out of each other, which is kind of normal. That's what friends do. It's how we show our appreciation for each other. It's one of those really weird things. Right, so I'm going to have to be very careful here. Yeah, see, this is what happened. I wanted to pull this group, and I wanted to do a line of sight pull, but I think I got a little bit too excited there and ended up pulling the boss as well. So for future reference, basically we need to give the boss a fair level of clearance. There we go. Try and break line of sight here. Get these casters to come this way. And at this point it doesn't really matter if we leave one caster behind, because we're still going to take damage from one caster. Ooh, that fire really hurts. Really hurts. That's fine. Oop, I've been tossed up. That's fine. But he's not going to last very long himself, so yeah, there we go. Now that would have been a lot easier if we had a healer there, but we don't have a healer. There we go, there's the piss taking that I was on about. He was basically laughing at me that basically fire is bad. So, you know, all the brain of fire, whatever that ability is called on these NPCs, I was standing in it. I mean, I was getting out of it, but it still did a good number on me. Nearly got me killed. Nearly is not good enough, though. So, obviously, I'm going to reply with a little joke and saying that I like it. It keeps me warm, so which is what I did. That should be an easy pull. And let's bring them right up here, because we do have a wandering boss, which could cause us problems. This is just cool as all heck, but also somewhat mind-boggling in the sense of how is this even possible? So, interestingly, I can use my keys on my keyboard to actually cast spells, and that's normally how I quest, but for some odd reason I'm finding it okay and acceptable to use the click here on the hotbar. And I know that drives a couple of people mad for some odd reason. It's like, you shouldn't be doing that, but I find it easier, especially as a tank. I can swap between this, for example, what I'm doing right now, and going on to using the keys on my keyboard to actually cast my spells. But right now, because I'm quite stationary, and this is a thing as a blood tank apparently, and I did read this, and yeah, that's one of the downsides of being a blood tank, is you're kind of stationary, to be honest, and that's fine by me. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. I can actually use the mouse to click on my abilities and kind of decide that way, and use my abilities that way, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's really funny though, because some people get really what's the word, really set off by it. It's really like, you shouldn't be using it, it shouldn't be clicking on the abilities. But why should I not? But it's there, it's an option. The devs that created the game made it a thing that it's possible. I like using it. I don't have a problem with it. It gets the job done. I get the job done with it. It works just as good as it could be. And I can, if I want to, swap to just using the key on the keyboard to cast my abilities if I need it. Basically, I suppose in that sense, I'm ambidextrous, and I don't really have a preference. Sometimes, like for this right here, I can find it easier to kind of cast my abilities this way. There we go. The ads are down. Here comes the boss. He really doesn't hurt. I mean, we should have been hurt right now. I'm looking at our health. We're really not struggling at all. Yep, he's throwing us all back, done a bit of damage. We're gonna start healing back, which is a natural thing. Okay, cloth. See, this would have been good on my paladin, possibly as a healer, early on, but we don't need it now, obviously. I mean, we can probably avoid fighting these guys, but just for the fun of it, I'm just going to pull them because why not? Yeah, that's the one we want. Might as well pull these dudes. And the only reason for this is a safety pull, just because we don't want these guys accidentally being aggroed. But as you can see right here, this is a full-on trash group, which we're not really struggling with. Now, I reckon if I had some health potions, I could probably heal myself that way, which is something to look into. I guess we're going to start having to invest in health potions. That with buff food and everything, we should be pretty darn set. Yeah, this is it. This is the first boss fight. Was pretty darn easy. And I reckon we could have done this in 2 if we needed to, if we had to, if we actually chose to. So this is, you know, surprising, but fun. I wonder how many people know about this. This is something that I'm quite curious about right now. Are we the first to actually do this, or do people actually know about it? To be fairly honest, all credits go to my friend here, because he's the one that kind of picked up on the fact that we could do this. And it was actually a fluke. This is right here, the next stage. It's going to be a bit challenging. And the reason for that is there's about 4 casters that we're going to have to fight. And they do like to put fears up. So the question is, who are they going to fear? Yeah. See right there, there's about 4 casters. We're going to need to take down the casters. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark the casters so we can actually focus and take them down in a specific order. The order doesn't really matter on the casters here. We just basically want an order of how we're going to all focus on the targets. So for example, we all focus on the skull, followed by the cross, followed by the little circle, which people sometimes call a nipple. Yeah, that way we basically DPS them down as quick as possible, and we really want to take these guys down as quick as possible. Okay, hold on, there we go, that's the one. I was just trying to find the target. So this is basically what could cause some problems if we spend too much time in that fear mode. Then we're gonna have a bit of a problem. Where's the cross dude? Okay, he's died. Alright, little nipple dude. Here you go. But that worked out quite well. So the idea is here is basically we're setting an order of what we're going to take down depending on how and what they do. And casters, as we found out, do hurt quite badly. Or can hurt. They didn't really in this scenario, and interestingly enough, as you can see, we came out of that pretty much unscathed, really. So the way the health goes down on these NPCs almost looks like there's a full group here. Almost looks like we are overpowered for this particular dungeon. But really, we're doing it at its actually set level, or the parameters of its set level. Okay, so this is an interesting pull here. So I can do those guys right there and bring them here. Okay, my friend should be alright. My health should be generally fine. Let's bring this dude here. Pull him back. Okay, he's changed targets. Right, see, I wanted to pull them a bit further back, because what's going to happen now, we're going to aggro the patrol that just kind of goes around in a circle, and I don't know exactly how we're going to manage that. So you are seeing healing going on. I assure you that is just basically my passive abilities right there. Nobody's actually healing me, but this is crazy. We just fought two groups with very little challenge, really. Alright, let's sort this dude. He's got a mana bar, and he could definitely cause a couple of issues right here. Now, one of the things that I really like about the Death Knight is that pull where you pull things towards you. You don't have to go towards them. It's well cool. Again, on the Paladin Death Knight. On the Paladin, they have that shield throw, which is kind of cool. It does look like a cool ability, but still, it's a good ranged attack. Whereas with the Death Knight, you actually pull them towards you, which is quite nice. Definitely handy for casters, to be honest. There we go. Fully healed up. Let me just start marking these dudes down. I'll go up. Okay, we've got a patrol there. Yeah, so I'm just testing line of sight. We don't want to have them there just because there's that patrol.
I need to get closer.
Right, we'll just wait for them to come here because it's probably the best place for them to be. Right, I'll quickly deal with this dude. So what seems to happen here, which is quite interesting, this is another thing I've just noticed. So the other Death Knight is basically stacking their Death Knight debuffs on them. I'm using my ability to spread it, or he's using it, and it's basically being spread to all of them, which is really nuts. Yeah, that's just me having a crack at fire, because again, we had to deal with fire, and I'm like, told you, fire is good. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad that he came up with this idea, because honestly, when he first brought it up, I was so skeptical. I was like, no, I can't. This is not possible. This can't be. I'm used to this game being pretty darn difficult, and even when it's easier, it's still difficult. This is just a cakewalk right now. Honest to God. This could not be easier. Alright, I'm going to pull these dudes. I wonder why I'm by myself here. What's going on? Oh, I see what the problem is. Right, hold on a bit. Let's go and take you guys right this way. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die here. Yeah. They should be fine. Really not a big issue. I generally thought we were going to go for that. I didn't realize we are going to clear out every single thing. I suppose we're going to need to clear these guys out because we'll have to jump off the edge. But we could probably just jump off the edge with them in tow and just kind of get to the exit really easily, which what I was going to go for. But yeah, looks like we're going for the whole dungeon, not just part of it. I should be fine from here on. Okay. He's taking the mick out of me that I'm not yet ready. And truthfully be told, I'm not really ready just because of the gear. But, I mean, blood tanking is heavily gear dependent, but should be quite fun once I have all the gear that I need. And this is why I wanted the Death Knight. Now, everybody's going to go for their own spec. Mine's a bit different. And eventually, when I'm ready and have all the gears and have everything set out the way I want it, it's going to be a fun class to play. There's a bit of leveling to do. We need the glyphs. We need the armor for it. We need a couple of more points in our spec tree, specialization tree, and stuff like that. Once everything's set out the way it's supposed to be, it'll be quite fun to tank on the Death Knight. I choose to go on something that most people will avoid, and I think, to me, in my opinion, it's going to be quite fun. This is a boss, so this is boss number 2, and boss number 3 is just right around the corner. We'll see how this actually works. So if my friend's tanking there, I will run around the back and pretend I'm a rogue. I'll do it from the side, whatever. And if he needs a reprieve, I can always go into Frost and start taking the aggro off of him. But right now, it doesn't seem like we actually need any help, to be honest. There we go. He's lost aggro there for a brief second. Oh, okay, he's healing, so I've got the aggro. We're basically just trading aggro right now at this point. Now, he's summoned a Fellhound, which is kind of interesting, but they tend to feed on the player's mana. The nice thing is, the Death Knights don't have mana. Oh, hello. Okay, this would definitely be useful. So I'm going to need on this. What I'm going to do with the Death Knight, by the way, is very similar to what I did with the Paladin. I'll be running 2 gear sets. One will be a DPS gear set, and the other one will be a tanking gear set. Now, my DPS as a DPS won't necessarily be set out for dungeons. It will help me with questing and stuff like that, but it'll be, I suppose, aimed at questing, not specifically for dungeons. For dungeons, I'll be using the tank set and I'll be tanking in dungeons. So I'm looking forward to that. That looks like something that I'm going to be enjoying. So hopefully... Actually, I was going to try and put off leveling up the Death Knight, but I think after playing this, I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. And so I might level up the Death Knight. Now, for those watching this video right now, the series with the Paladin is completed. The Paladin is at level 70. There's a lot of editing, so there will be many videos coming up. Paladin's ready to go for Northrend. We've got even good gear on the Paladin. But I'm going to start working on the Death Knight. I was basically debating at one point what class to take to 70 next. And so, in case you don't know, I do have a Warlock and, of course, the Death Knight. So, really struggling there. I think I've already made my decision off of this. It's going to be the Death Knight. I love both classes. They are both really fun to play. But being a tank is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And of course, straight after that, I'll do the Warlock as well. The Warlock now probably should have, I would say, full bars of rested XP. So I'm guessing probably 2. I think that's the maximum we can have. So leveling up should be fairly easy, especially seeing as the pre-patch has dropped. And everything feels a hell of a lot easier right now. Like, there is still an element of challenge. I think it's one of those things that's kind of like fine-tuning as to kind of getting accustomed in the sense of what has changed, what is actually achievable. But things have been made much easier, or at least they feel like it. I'm not sure if they actually have been made easier, but they feel a hell of a lot easier.
Your time is running out.
So this boss, right, is meant to be a proper pain. Now, the boss himself that we're fighting right now, not so bad. But when the dragon lands, which is what's happening right now, and starts breathing fire on everybody, that should really hurt. Let's see exactly what happens here. Not that bad. Really not that bad. What was that? We're all fully healed. This should be... Well, this should not be this easy. It should be illegal for this to be this easy. Okay. My friend's really hurt right now. Don't know. Yeah, he's definitely getting hurt there. Fire really hurts. Okay. I've taken aggro right now. I should have probably gone frost quicker. That's another thing for me to learn, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll just wait for my friend to come back so he can join in the looting. You know, he might have something here that he wants. He might not. But, you know, we all worked together to get here. So, might as well have him enjoy the joys of looting whatever we get. Which is generally what I find with Ramparts and Blood Furnace. Doesn't really tend to be that much good, to be honest. And the other thing I noticed, right, quite early on with the question here is the quests aren't really catered for warriors. Basically, as a Death Knight, I'll be fighting for the same gear as warriors do. Warrior tanks, to be more specific. So there isn't really a lot of stuff kind of catered for warrior tanks. There is a lot of stuff for like paladin tanks. There's a lot of stuff with mana on it, mana and spirit, which is absolutely useless to me, and of course absolutely useless to a warrior class. So yeah, this is what I've seen. I've not actually paid attention when I did the first run with the paladin. I was specifically looking at things with mana on them. This time around, being a Death Knight and mana not being useless to me, I'm actually looking for that, and I'm finding that I'm having to sell a lot of the quest rewards, which is kind of sad in a way because they actually are quite decent. But I can't use them. There's no point in putting them on just for the armor because really does not help me. I need stuff to give me haste so I can actually hit faster with my weapon. I need stamina. I need damage. So, okay. My friend's back in the dungeon. Whenever he's ready, we can now loot. So I'm just waiting for him to say he's ready, and we'll just open up the chest. We'll see what we get. Then we jump out of here. Looks like I don't know. It'd be nice to do Blood Furnace. We'll give that a go as well, if people are happy for that to happen. Okay, so he's happy with us opening the chest. Let's go. Plate, strength, stamina. See, that is useful. Yeah, that's fine. It's more of a DPS item, but that's fine. It's still better than what I have. And there we go. We'll see who gets what.
Right now.
And that's it. This is it. This is Ramparts done in 3 people. Believe it or not, as you can see, I'm as surprised as you probably are if you're used to doing this as a full group. But yeah, this is it. A couple of learning curves here and there. I've learned my lessons. Not really tanked, so definitely valuable lessons for me. Join me in the next episode. I think by the looks of it, we might potentially be going into the Blood Furnace as well. So that'll be a new experience as well. Let's see how many wipes we get in that one, or if we don't get any wipes. That'll be quite cool if we get a clean run there. But thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it, especially if you made it this far in the video. Until next time, stay safe, folks.